because then you could think it's either let's go eat some bacon or it's let's go and start baking. You know, there's like two purposes. We're out of powdered sugar. I don't want to go to the store because I want to be mindful of not going to the store too often. So we're going to make our own powdered sugar because we do have regular sugar. And according to the internet, you can make your own powdered sugar. We need a cup of regular sugar.
And according to the internet, you can make powdered sugar by using 1 cup of regular sugar with 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. But since we did
1 and 1 quarter. Oh, I see.
Right, but since we did 1 1/4 cup, since we need 3 deciliters, we need to have a tablespoon and then 3/4 of a teaspoon. And then you just blend it together. It says 4 to 5 minutes. So it went for about 6 minutes.
I mean, it looks like powdered sugar. So let's get to baking. Today, we are baking Erica's kitchen. Thanks, Rachel. I grew up making this. My mom can tell you that this page in my cookbook was always dirty because I would get my buttery fingers on it. Some people call it Kärleksmums, which is lover's mush. No, that can't be it. I don't know what it's called. I used to call them snow dust. I don't know what that means. But it has a really nice cake layer. Just traditional milk, egg, sugar, flour, cocoa, vanilla sugar, baking powder. And then once that cools, you make some nice, pretty clear, coffee-based frosting on top. But it's super thin. Butter's melted. Let's do 350. So 3 eggs. Still have not been able to master the cracking of an egg. 3 regular cups.
Deciliters.
Nugget. We'll mix this all together. No hands method.
That makes me nervous.
Wait here. Okay, guys. And then we're supposed to mix in the dry ingredients and the milk and the butter. So I'm gonna get the butter. So it says to do this like kind of like 1, 2, 3. I'm almost gonna pour it all in because I think it's all fine. I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons of vanilla sugar.
Which again, the vanilla sugar is alternative to vanilla extract.
And then 3/4 deciliters of cacao. So a lot. 4 deciliters of flour. And before I do that, I'm gonna mix a little to make my life easier. So I have 2 more deciliters to go. Ooh. How do they do this on TV? There's no elegant way. And then I'm gonna do 2 more deciliters. And then I need baking powder. 2 teaspoons. Let us know what you think. Hoyt thinks we should separate these. I like having them together, but I can understand sometimes why we should separate them.
I might test out and see if we can do a poll.
And I also need to add our milk. Does that look good? There, look at that. Set aside and put parchment paper on whatever size this pan is. Now we're back. Hoyt smoothed it out because I don't have that skill. It's supposed to be on the lower part of the oven. The recipe specifies that, so I figured when this recipe book specifies things, I should listen. But about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, I swished the side.
It's been about 30 minutes.
We're gonna let this cool until it's completely
Where are your knife jabs?
There.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's how you test if it's done.
Now we're making the icing for the cake. This is 75 grams of melted butter, 4.5 deciliters of powdered sugar. We want more cocoa powder. We're gonna put half a deciliter of coffee cold, and then 2 teaspoons of vanilla sugar. Give it a whisk. Then we're just gonna pour this over our cake. Use your little tool, and you want to cover the whole thing. Since we made our coconut clusters the other day, we have leftover coconut flakes. So we're just gonna sprinkle. Ooh, that was a pretty substantial amount. You want it to be pretty generous. And then we're just gonna let the icing sugar firm up, and then we'll cut it and have some fika. We're back. We're almost done. We're gonna cut the edges off of these first and eat those, obviously. nicely, and then we'll cut them into nice square pieces. It does say you can make about 20 of these. I think we can make a little bit more because we used a thinner baking sheet, but we'll just eyeball it. Here I'm trying to make this all pretty, and then it just did not work.
What are we doing?
Eating.
Woo!
It's the best part. Now is some Fika for you. You ready for your evening Fika?
I am. This is kind of like the dessert for my dessert.
I know you already had dessert.
But let's see how it is.
Da 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 da. Is it good? Do you like the frosting?
I do. They're chocolate, but brownies is the wrong word. They're kind of like cake squares, like little bites of cake. We got them into smaller pieces, so they're a little more manageable. And
So they're basically healthy to eat.
that's where I always go.
Because they're just so small.
I mean, it has coconut on top, so it's basically a vegetable.
I know. But honestly, is coconut a vegetable?
No.
Oh. Snodas, Kärleksmums, whatever you call them, was bake number 13. We out.